and welcome our next speaker, Mr. Fred Corsentino. He is the Chief Revenue Officer and he will be the presenter for BioKey. He's actually replacing Mr. Akintate Carlton Jeje. So may I please request Fred to go ahead and go live now.
Yes, can you hear me? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can, Fred. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me, so I'd like to, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to be here today. I know we are all presented with new challenges this year. And to all the delegates and participants in this second annual Digital Banking Summit, I'd like to offer a big welcome from New York. I know we have people from around the globe, and so I won't say good morning, good afternoon, I'll just say good day. And I look forward to telling you a little bit about BioKey and what we've done in the banking industry, and specifically what we've been doing in Africa and in other global locations. So first, just a little bit about BioKey. BioKey is an emerging leader in biometric identification solutions. We've been in this business for a little while, but now with biometrics and the need for security, we are becoming more important these days, and especially in all financial industries. We are headquartered in Wall, New Jersey, which is kind of on the shore in the middle of New Jersey. We have a development office in Eagan, Minnesota, and another one up in New Hampshire. We recently acquired a company and a platform called Portal Guard, and I'll talk and touch a little bit about that a little bit later on during the presentation, but very exciting for us as a company. We pride ourselves on having very fast and highly discriminating biometric identification platform and software with lots of device interoperability. So we support a lot of fingerprint readers is what that means. Our algorithms are used in many critical locations, including, here in the States, FBI and so on. And I'll go through some case studies a little bit here that talk about where that software has been performing tremendously. We have a lot of patents, 11 specifically relating to biometric authentication, and we've been validated by our U.S. Department of Commerce, or NIST, as we say in the U.S. So we recently also opened a subsidiary in Africa, and Akintende, who represents that, we will make sure you have his information. But we believe there's tremendous opportunity to work with many different customers, and especially in the banking and financial segment, though, in Africa. So we were extremely happy to do that. So a lot happening with the company. And let me just tell you, I think I could, rather than go through the technology and everything, I think it's best to maybe talk about a few use cases and case studies that we have that can kind of tell the story a little bit better about what we do. And the first one is in Africa, in South Africa, Capitec. Capitec, a number of years ago, selected BioKey's algorithm and software for the fingerprint part of their application. And that's a testimony to what we've done and the accuracy of our algorithms. So they had a number of goals, and one was to leverage fingerprint to eliminate fraud. And they've, cut costs, obviously, for over 7 million customers for enrollment and easy banking transactions. Second was to be paperless bank, eliminate a lot of forms to sign. So fingerprint authentication enabled them to do a lot of other things. And third was to have ATM verification. So by having the ability to authenticate at the ATM biometrically, it meant a lot. So I'll tell a little bit more. We believe there's more than 7 million customers right now. These numbers are from a little while ago, but they're used in daily in all the branches and ATMs. Again, some statistics from not too long ago were over 3,000 new enrollments per day. It takes 2 minutes to enroll, and the enrollment process is, if you've never used a fingerprint reader or never, had to get it biometrically enrolled in their systems, it takes 2 minutes. They do over 200,000 verifications a day on their systems. And again, all working through our algorithms on fingerprint reader. I hope you could see some of these, the infographics, but this was actually issued by Capitec. So we're not taking credit for all these things. This is Capitec's infographics that they use as public information. So thumbs up for Capitec. As you might see, there's over 1.5 million fingerprints successfully enrolled. There's over 53,000 fingerprints. I won't read all the statistics, but you can basically say that they've had tremendous success with this program, and their customers are extremely satisfied with it. The other thing is that they feel not only is it providing a more secure and safe authentication to the banking platforms, but it's offering simplified and affordable banking. So it's done a number of things on the business model, and I think revolutionized, as we say, authentication, in this case, biometrics. And again, I would just offer a couple of quotes from Capitec themselves. So the biometric system has been implemented in our branches and demonstrates how we use innovative technology to enhance security while driving down costs. And that's a big deal, to be able to have a more secure platform for customers to do banking while driving down costs. And again, that's coming from Capitec. Is truly remarkable. So we're basically, they say we are now making it virtually impossible for identity thieves to target our customers. And that's, as we all know, some of the bigger threats. As we digitize the banking world, there's a lot, as more progress is made, there's as many people out there trying to subvert that. And so having authentication via fingerprint biometrics, which is basically who you are, not what you have or what you know, a password, a PIN, but who you are, clearly is critical. And I know in Africa that is extremely important. And here's a great case study in the banking world with Capitec. So the customers have instant access in real time, and only they can transact on their account. Obviously very critical. And the other part of it is that there's a lot of forms of authentication, and some might suggest that biometrics can be complex. It isn't. And certainly for the user, if it's the way it's implemented with the right algorithm and the right accuracy, just one time putting a finger down, and now you have, it's convenient for the client, and they can conduct any transaction. So again, I think that Capitec is well on the road to becoming paperless, as they suggested. And they, again, are proud to say they were recently voted best value for the money bank in South Africa, Consumer Satisfaction Index. So obviously they believe what they did with biometrics is a critical part of that. And we were very fortunate and happy to participate in that with Capitec. Let me just shift a little bit to another bank that you perhaps would recognize, Gulf International Bank, and they have headquartered in the Middle East with many locations around the world, one of them being here in New York. They're owned by the governments of the Gulf Cooperation Council, and Saudi Arabia is, their fund is the primary shareholder. And they were looking for a multi-factor solution for back office employees. So this is a B2E application, business to employees. And what we required here in the United States, specifically in New York State, was to have, with the cybersecurity laws, there was compliance for 2FA, a two-factor authorization. And that regulation, basically forced them into looking at what was safe to do. And so what they did was selected us, and specifically a product called ID Director for Windows, and that is our access management authentication solution that not only has all that powerful algorithm software that we just talked about with Capitec, but it has a complete access management platform and administrative capabilities for all the employees. And certain employees might need certain access to certain systems, and certain employees will not have access to it. So a lot of that is done. We are very proud of our solutions that we offer for that, and we have recent upgrades as well via Portal Guard to present a lot of back office solutions for access management, as well as consumer-facing solutions, as you saw with Capitec. At BioKey, we're also very proud of our fingerprint scanners. So we have something called the PIV Pro, PIV Pro, and that's a FIPS compliant. That's a government standard. FIPS, very accurate and reader, as we call it, or fingerprint scanner, and that's what's used for enrollment at Gulf Bank. So to log on and get what we call single sign-on to critical banking applications, they used our ID Director for Windows solution at Gulf Bank. The results in the New York location were deemed a success, and we are rolling out, they have plans to roll out to other banks and other locations within the bank. So again, it protects, one of the benefits, and this happens, we have seen this in a lot of banks here that we've done business with in the United States as well, whether it's tellers who have shared workstations. A teller might be on duty for a couple of hours, a new one comes on board at that particular location. They then authenticate in biometrically, and we're able to share those workstations, but the bank always knows who was doing what transaction and allowed access to all those banking systems biometrically. So it improved workflow clearly and definitely enhanced security at Gulf Bank and many banks here in the US. We are seeing this same kind of need to go through not only B2E, but B2C, business to consumer applications where, as in Capitec's case, consumers are actually able to authenticate biometrically and do their transactions. The same is true with employees. And so we are participating quite a bit with a lot of banks and financial service companies where biometrics here in the United States is welcomed as a form of true authentication. So I think maybe I could buy a couple of minutes time back for you on the agenda. I would encourage everybody to take a look at our brand new website at bio-key.com. We are social. And again, Kintunde is our representative and is in the middle of developing our office in Africa. And we'd love to work with you on solving some of your problems.
Thank you very much, Fred. That was actually very helpful. I think for me, one of the main messages that I took away from your presentation is that, we need to look at enhancing security while still making everything convenient for our end clients and for our staff as well. So that ability to enhance security while driving down costs with biometrics, I think, is something that is really critical going forward. Even at DataBank, our desire is to go paperless. It's something that we are working on. And so it's great to see the strides that BioKey is taking in this area. So thank you once again for your presentation. I am very grateful for that.